Hey, ZipZap here, and I am at Haulover Inlet. It's a little quiet right now, so I thought I'd take this opportunity to answer some of the common questions that I see in the comments, and also thank you for subscribing and liking and sharing. All that engagement helps. It helps the viewership, which helps the revenue, which helps pay for equipment, editing time, and all the things that go into making this channel. So I do appreciate that. So one of the common questions that I get is, where are all the boats going? There is a lot of traffic at Haulover. Well, in South Florida, there are a lot of places to go. You've got the sandbar, which is right behind me over here on the other side of the bridge. That's the most popular destination right here. You'll see a lot of guys actually launch their boats and just go to the sandbar. They don't even go anywhere else, they just go to the sandbar. The boats that are going out with fishing poles obviously are fishing off the coast. Some of the boats you'll see, they're going up to Fort Lauderdale to hang out, have lunch, have dinner, drive around, look at other yachts and boats up there. Fort Lauderdale's really cool. Actually, if you're in South Florida on a vacation or a trip or anything, one of the fun things to do is get a water taxi. Go up there, get a water taxi. I don't know how much it costs. I did it years ago. It's, I don't know, 15 bucks, 20 bucks, something like that for an all-day pass. And you ride along the water taxi, and you get they take you all over Fort Lauderdale. It's a really cheap tour, and it's a fun way to see the water around Fort Lauderdale. Some of the other boats go down south to Miami. Go have lunch, go have dinner. Lots of places to eat on the water. There's Stiltsville, so some of them will go to Key Biscayne, and there's Stiltsville, which is off the southern tip of Key Biscayne. That is an old neighborhood it's a bunch of houses built on stilts. Most of them are gone now, but if I remember correctly, it was built during Prohibition. Look into it deeper. I don't know the full story of it, but it's cool because there's houses on stilts. Some of the other boats will go out to the Bahamas. They'll run over to the Bahamas. It's not that far away. If you've got a fast boat, you can be there. I think you can be there an hour and a half. You can do it on a jet ski even. If you bring extra fuel, you can do it on a jet ski. The one time that my buddy took his boat out there, I had to work. So he goes to the Bahamas and I'm at work. That was lame. I was not very happy about that when he told me that was the plan for the morning. So now a lot of people will actually come out just to have fun. Now, some of the comments will be like, hey, these guys, what are they doing driving down the middle? They're idiots, they're hitting the waves. They're doing it for fun. They're hanging out at the sandbar, they get everybody back on the boat, and they want to come out and ride the waves like a roller coaster. They're smacking up and down, they're enjoying it. And I don't particularly enjoy it. And my buddy cracked his hull, 28 cobia walk around, he cracked his hull hitting these waves. So, is it fun? I don't think so. But people do enjoy it, and that's when you hear the people screaming and laughing and getting wet. They're actually doing that on purpose. So don't hate on them too much because they're having a good time. Now, speaking of when it's rough, what's the best way out? I don't know. I can tell you what I've seen. The good guys and the captains that I see do this a lot, they're hugging the North Jetty. They're hugging the North Jetty and going out. They rarely go through straight down the middle full blast. Unless they've got a super capable boat, then they do that. Another question I see a lot is, no speed limit? Nope, there's no speed limit here. No speed limit. The speed limit actually starts at the bridge and goes into the bay for a little bit. There's no speed limit in the inlet. Partly because when it is rough, you can't be idling your boat and making no wake. You're gonna get tossed around, you're gonna get thrown into the rocks. You gotta be moving to get out of here when it's rough. Also, when the current's running and you've got a small boat with a little motor, it's gonna be hard to overcome that current. I've actually got a video, I don't know where it is, I think I lost it. It's posted online, and it's this little boat and he's barely making it. Barely fighting the current. It's a funny one. I spliced it in because it took him probably, I don't know, 10 minutes to get, maybe even more, to get in, and that was pretty funny to see that. And I spliced it in the video. Like at the beginning of the video, he started, middle, yeah, that was funny. Licensing. No licensing. You don't need a license. I took the boating skills and seamanship course, and I would recommend that everyone who has a boat go to the U.S. Coast Guard and take that course. It's going to be beneficial to you, but you don't need a license here in Florida to operate a boat. PFDs. In Miami, there's not a lot of PFDs. You'll see them occasionally, but as a rule, you don't see them on everyone. They, especially the concerning one is kids. When you see the little kids going out and they don't have PFDs on, it's a little strange to see that. But that's Miami. If you go to Jupiter, if you go to Palm Beach, you'll see it. You'll see PFDs on people. You'll see PFDs on kids. Always on kids. So Miami's a different place. It's a different world. So now the big question: what makes this so rough? Well, it's not always rough. It does get rough, but the times that it does get really rough is, and when I say rough, let's qualify that, rough for here, rough for Florida. There are places all over the world that are much rougher than this. Alex in France, he's hard. The channel's hard to find, but this dude is in France and he's got a crazy inlet that he films at, and it's nuts. So what makes Haulover so rough? It's an outgoing tide combined with an incoming swell. When those things meet, that's when it gets rough. Sometimes if there's no incoming swell but an outgoing tide, it will actually be calm. I see that quite often. It's smooth, and but when it's incoming swell or an onshore wind, that will cause it to get pretty nasty here. Another thing when it gets rough here is it's usually only rough inside the inlet and a couple hundred yards outside the inlet. It can be rough in here and dead flat on the outside. And that's some of the funniest things I see is when I see these little boats come out here, and it's kind of rough, and they're looking at the white caps and they, oh no, it's too terrible, and they turn around, and I'm looking, I'm like, whoa, dude, if you just go another 100 yards, you're going to be in lake water. Like, it's going to be dead flat. You're going to have the best time on the water that you're possibly going to have. And I get sad when I see that. I mean, I laugh, but I get sad too. It's like, come on, man, just a little bit more. You're gonna be amazing. And another funny thing I see is kayaks. Kayaks will come out on the outgoing tide, and they think they're superheroes. They're paddling, and they're loving life, they're running, and they're thinking hey, this is easy. I heard kayaking was tough in the ocean, but this is nothing. And they get out, and then they turn around trying to come back against that tide, and that's funny. I love seeing that. So those are some answers to some of the common questions I see in the comment section. I appreciate those comments. I appreciate those likes and those subscribes. Like I said, it all helps the engagement of the channel. It helps the viewership. It helps it grow, and it helps continue. It helps allow me to continue to do this. So I appreciate that, and I hope you have a great day. And we'll see you on the next one. So one of the other fun things about being on the inlet and filming the boats is we have subscribers who come up and say hi. Sandoval. This is Sandoval. He came from the UK.
Correct. Yes.
Correct. Yeah, he's here for a couple weeks in Florida and wanted to stop by Haulover and say hi and check it out. And luckily when he was here, we saw some pretty cool boats. We saw a Cigarette. We saw a couple big Sunseekers. So it was worth his time to come down and say hi and check out Haulover and all the fun it can be. Right? It's fun.
That's fun. That's a great job you do.
Yeah, thanks, man.
A lot of people around the world watch your videos. Just
excellent.
Keep that in mind.
Yep.
It's really cool.
And that keeps me going. So hit that like, hit that subscribe. Let me know what you think about the videos in the comments. That all helps. And we'll see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.